25 lessons I learned in 2025. This year for me has been crazy. It has been all over the place. Obviously not everything I'm going to get into in detail, but these are just 25 lessons. Some I'll explain overly and others I won't. One of my biggest ones from this year, speak up. So this year I went through a move, and when I left the state that I had lived in for years, I decided that I was also going to remove people that no longer mattered to me or just have not been really good friends to me. Basically just cutting off relationships that just didn't matter anymore. So I have two examples for this because one ended very badly and one ended very well. So like I said, I removed a bunch of people off of Instagram that I no longer went to school with, I was not going to see in person. So I'm going to sum these up very fast because I do have 24 more lessons to get through. So my first person, I removed her off of every single account, which I don't know why so many people have multiple accounts anyway, but like what the heck is the purpose, bro? Everyone knows it's you. Anyway, so I removed all of her accounts and I didn't explain why until she decided to message me like 2 weeks later. I don't know why it took so long if you cared so much. Anyway, but then she texted me and she was like, hey, why did you remove me? And I'm like, hey, I removed you just because we don't talk anymore. And honestly, you're very self-absorbed. And I said something like that. And then she wanted to argue instead of letting it be what it was. So I went into depth and I used real examples and I told her blah, 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 blah. And she got mad and she couldn't handle that. So, and my second person is someone that I was friends with. I made friends with her junior year of high school. And then we kind of like slowly drifted senior year, which happens in school. It's honestly a typical thing to expect. But me and her just stopped talking, and honestly she was also a little bit more self-absorbed and never really asked how anyone else was really ever, and she never reached out first. That's what I'm talking about. That's what happened with both of these people, by the way. And so same thing, just with this girl, she was a lot more mature and she didn't want to argue. She just straight up was like, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. And she fully acknowledged her behavior and everything. And she apologized and I was like, okay. And it wasn't a backhanded apology. It was like fully straight up. And I was like, wow, thank you. Like, honestly, I was expecting something worse because of that first girl and her nonsense. Because she sent me a whole story, that first girl. Anyway, but, and I read it the first time I responded. She still wanted to argue, shared it with a bunch of people, like my side and her side, and was like, what do I say? And then sent me 3 paragraphs, super long, and I responded with K. And then I blocked her, because I don't have time to argue with you. You're dumb. Go away. Anyway, but why am I getting re-mad? Anyway, the second girl was so much more mature, and I just wish that I spoke to her in the beginning about how I was feeling. Another example is with my best friend. She had done something that I was so upset about because I was like, ew, that's a gross thing to be doing. Like a gross way to behave, basically. And I was mad because I was like, ew, I don't want to be friends with someone like that. And I waited a whole day and then I brought it up and she was totally mature and calm about it. And I was like, oh, okay. I think I just expected the worst of people. So anyway, speak up. Like, even if it ends bad, you spoke up about it instead of just bye. Are they a lesson or for life? This is number 2, and all I really have to say about this one is not every connection is going to be in your life forever. Lesson number 3, privacy is key. Genuinely, it is so powerful. Don't let everybody in. Don't let everybody know everything about you. Honestly, like, it's good to let out some things. Obviously, like, don't be the most private person ever that you don't say anything about yourself ever, but just don't share everything with everybody and be careful about who you share it with, especially in a relationship. When I started my relationship that I had with this guy, now he's my ex, obviously, but he and I shared everything, every detail, every little argument, every little bicker that me and him had with my friend group. And it just made everything worse. It made everything so much more toxic. So keep things between you and your partner, and keep things between you and your friend. If you have a problem with your friend, just to them. Doesn't need to be shared to everybody, okay? Stop. 4, pick your battles. Not everything is worth the fight, honestly. Some things are just dumb and not worth your time. 5, X factor. Eliminate people who just don't care about you or that you have to be fake to. If you feel like you have to fake who you are to that person, they don't matter. Let's be honest. You don't even like them enough to still have them in your life. Independence. Be your own best friend. Genuinely, after I moved, I don't have friends here. I had a job there. I had school there. I knew everybody there. So I no longer can just be like, hey, you want to come over? Hey, can I come over? Hey, do you want to go hang out today? To my friends. So I've really learned to, at the end of this year, so in October to December, I really learned to be my own best friend. And at the end of the day, you just have you. You lay in bed by yourself, obviously, unless you're with a person. Anyway, but at the end of the day, if you have friendship fallouts or you have a relationship breakup, you have yourself to fall back on, and you don't need to fall back on everybody, especially if you don't have anybody after that ends. Like if you lose all your friends, you have yourself to fall back on. And if you don't, then you're gonna sit there being like, oh, what do I do? I can't function without other people. Be your own best friend. Think before you speak. Don't put a relationship on the line before you think about what you're gonna say. Be cautious about your words. Your art before a person. Your dreams and goals and your creative projects that you put time and effort into matter more than a person. And what I mean by that is a lot of people, when they get in relationships, tend to put so much energy into a person when that energy should be put into your work and your art. Because at the end of the day, if that person leaves you, okay. I mean, obviously it's not just like, okay, bye, but like, at the end of the day, you have your art, you have your work. Just to clarify though, that is not saying don't put effort into your relationships, because you should always be putting effort into your relationships, but your work should come first. Your goals, your dreams, your work needs to come before a person, okay? Number 9, get a support system. I struggled with depression almost my whole life, literally since I was like 9 years old, and I had never talked to anybody about it until last year. I keep forgetting it's 2026. 2025, I had finally got a support system. I was struggling so bad and I had just never opened up about my problems. And I finally spoke to a doctor and I was open, and now I feel a lot better and I'm doing really great. So I think a support system really helped me, and it might help you. Number 10, on your terms. You forgive people, you talk to people that you haven't talked to in a while on your terms. You know, you should not be expected to apologize to somebody unless you're ready to. At the end of the day, people do mess up, and some mess ups are way bigger than others, but it's really your decision to sit there and be like, I should forgive, or I don't feel like forgiving just yet. 11, go for it. You have that thing that you're sitting there like, I don't know if I should do this yet. I don't know if I really am ready. I don't know if I want to do this. Throw yourself into it. Go for it. It's today. Don't wait. Go for it. Do it. An example, I guess, for me is my YouTube channel. If I sat there and was like, I don't know, I'm embarrassed. I don't know if I should keep doing this. Like, it's not, I'm a little scared. I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be living the thrilling moment of being able to film videos that I love. Number 12. I think this one's a good one to follow with after what I had just said, and that is that the world won't wait for you to choose. There are so many decisions you're gonna have to make in your life, and if you sit there and just wait and wait and wait and wait, they're not gonna wait for you to choose. That thing isn't gonna just sit there for forever until you finally make the decision. So it's more like, think through your decisions and be smart about what you decide and choose, but also don't spend so much time that you miss out on an opportunity. Number 13, it's better to leave than stay when you're unhappy. So the way I learned this lesson was through a relationship. Earlier this year, 2024, actually end of 2024, I was talking to this girl and we went on a date. We were like talking for a while, and I was like, this feels like a friendship. Like, I genuinely just don't have that much attraction to you anymore. Because I did 1 year and then I didn't. Anyway, it's a whole story. But I was like, and then I was like, I'm in love with him. Like, this guy that I was with. And I was like, do I stay here and not cause chaos? Because I had gone from him to her to, and then I was going to go back to him. So, like, that would have been messy. So I was like, do I not be messy? Or do I choose what I want and end up hurting somebody, but at the end of the day, I don't want to stay in something that I'm unhappy in. And also, it's beneficial to them anyway, because you're not wasting their time anymore if you say, oh, I'm gonna go. Yeah, it might hurt them for a little bit, but at the end of the day, they're not gonna sit here with someone that doesn't genuinely love them or care about them. Number 14, they're gonna hate you regardless. Live your life, because at the end of the day, there's always gonna be somebody who has a problem with you. 15, sometimes the lonely road will benefit you more. I was about to add an L in the word road. Don't know where that came from. Anyway, what I mean by that is sometimes you need to be able to take your own path. And there's actually a picture. I'll see if I can find it. If I can, it's right here. But anyway, and it's basically just a path that splits into two, and the crowd is going this way and one person is going this way. Sometimes that one path that you have an opportunity for that not everyone's going to go down is going to benefit you more than if you went with the crowd. A small group is larger. Now, obviously not in the count of people, but in the sense of when you have some really good people around you, it doesn't matter how big your group is. They won't learn if you don't leave. I, to say the least, have given so many chances to people. I'm a very patient person. I'm very much like, okay, well, like, you know, like just warn people and then see what they do. And I've given so many chances in my lifetime. And I'm just like, I keep giving chance after chance after chance, and I just have to go. As much as I care about somebody, I have to go. It's just, I can't stay with someone who's not gonna change unless I leave. So I need to go. Basically, in other words, they're gonna keep repeating the cycle with you because they know that you're gonna stay anyway. Sucks, I know, but it does happen. Quite often, I'd like to add. Number 18, don't settle, babe. So many possibilities in this world, so many things that you can do. Don't settle just because it's just easier, okay? Nuh-uh, we're gonna go for the gold. If you want it, go get it. Don't sit here and be like, oh, I don't know if I can, it's scary, okay? So is almost every single thing in this world. Do you think that I'm gonna sit here and just take whatever? No, go. Do what you want to do, please. You're gonna drive me nuts if you sit here and just settle for the bare minimum. Go. Anyway, it's not the end of the world. Sometimes terrible things happen to you and you just gotta learn from them. I've had many things happen to me that I'm just like, why? Why me? Why did this have to happen? And at the end of the day, I'm just like, okay, well, it happened. I can't really do anything. I have to move on, and things are gonna happen to you regardless. So unless you stay in a white padded room for the rest of your life, I mean, you know, so things are always going to happen, and you just have to understand that it's not the end of the world. You're alive and you have opportunities, so go for them. Another very big lesson that I learned this year is live for today. There are so many times where I've sat there and thought about the future, which is good, like you should prepare for the future in a sense, but don't plan out every single day, because there are days that I wish I could relive that I'm just like, wow, I wish I was more in the moment instead of just being like, oh, whatever, you know? There are people that are no longer in my life that I wish that I could relive that day. I mean, obviously there's no room for regrets here because it happened and there's no way that I can change that. But there are times where I just wish that I lived a little bit more in the moment. Number 21, the beauty in the little things. There are so many beautiful things out there, and truly you just have to look at everything with like a child's mind, basically. Just like look at everything as, wow, beautiful, even if it's flawed, even if it has problems. I mean, people have problems and you still love others, right? I mean, it's like you just have to find beauty in the little things, even if it's just something that's not grand. I mean, you still have to look at it and be like, yeah, it's pretty for what it is. 22! This one's a huge one for me. This one was huge this year specifically. I don't even know why. Anyway, it's not your job to change others' views of you. People are going to think anything that they want of you. Literally ever. Ever. I remember when I was in school and people thought I was stupid because I would dress flamboyantly. Like, obviously not like half naked or anything, but I dressed like very creative. Like, I cared about how I dressed, basically. And I was very loud and I was very funny, and I liked to talk to people, and I literally talked to every single person. Even if they were as quiet as a mouse, I would still talk to you, period, because I think everyone might need a laugh or might need somebody to cheer them up. Anyway, but It's not your job to shape others' points of view. I have gone to extensive points to make sure that people think of me the exact way that I am. It's exhausting. It's literally so exhausting. And for what? They're probably not even going to be in your life forever. They're probably people that you're only going to know while you're in school. They're probably people that you're only going to know while you work there. They're probably only people you're going to meet once. Who cares? You're literally going to run into some people and never see them again, ever. It's not your job to change how they see you. People are always going to have opinions of you. Always. Literally always. It's inevitable. It's impossible to change other people's minds and points of view of you. And they're always going to think what they think, okay? So stop sitting here wasting time trying to get other people to see you as you are. I know it sucks, but like, because so many people look at me and think that I'm someone totally different in the sense of like I've been perceived as mean when I'm so nice. I'm literally nice to everybody, even strangers. It doesn't matter. I'm very nice to people, and people always assume I'm mean. Or people assume just anything and everything of me. And it's honestly so annoying, but it's also like, it doesn't get to me as much anymore. Like, it used to affect me terribly, but now it just doesn't. I'm just like, oh well, not my job to curate your museum of how you see me. Okay, I had to move to the floor because my phone decided to die before I was done. Anyway, appreciate people for what they are or were. So what ended up happening after my breakup with the guy that I literally am and was in love with, I went off the rails and I sat there and I was like, he's a little bit, and he was like terrible and all this, and I was like, no, he wasn't. Like, in the end he was, but like, I just needed to accept him for who he was and who we were together, and I needed to not sit there and be like, oh, blah, 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 when it's not true. So as much as it sucks losing somebody, no matter who it is, whether it's a loss as in like they literally are no longer on this earth, or just you'll never see them again, or you'll never talk to them again, appreciate them for what they were to you at the time. They were important to you at that time. It's important to just acknowledge people and be like, you were important to me at one point. Obviously, you don't have a place in my life anymore, but I'm grateful that you existed because you taught me blah, 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 or you gave me blah, 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 blah. You know? Another big one. Let them grow, just not in your garden. So what I mean by that is be happy for people, and obviously you don't have to be, but I personally see it as those people, even that girl that I talked about earlier who was very argumentative and got very defensive and everything, I don't like her, and I wouldn't like sit here and be like, yeah, I'd love to talk to her ever again, but I do hope that she gets everything that she wants. I do hope that she gets everything that she's worked so hard for, because I want these people to do great in life. I have no reason to hate her whatsoever, and honestly, hating people just takes so much energy that I just don't have for other people. My energy needs to go into more important things. So like, I just don't care about people enough to hate them anymore. And you know, I hope that she just gets everything that she wants and deserves, and I don't need her to be in my life, in my space, for me to wish for that. And finally, number 25, let it go. This is a huge one for me as someone who is an angry girl. I used to hold grudges like crazy, and I was always so angry, and I was like, oh, I hate that person. I'm like, oh, I don't want to ever see them again. Like, they just suck. And now I'm like, why? Sitting here hating somebody doesn't affect them. They're not gonna sit here and be like, oh, she hates me, oh my god. They're gonna be like, okay, move on with my life. While you're still here hating somebody that doesn't even care about you. Hating somebody affects you more than it affects them. So in other words, there's absolutely no reason to be holding that grudge, because they, even if you hold grudges long after you have known them or anything, they don't care. They're living their own life. You should too, guys. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I meant to film this on New Year's Eve, but I got so sick, you guys. It's not even funny. I got so sick I think I've been sick for a week now. I'm coming down from it. I like press pause every time I'm ready to cough or something. But I feel a lot better, I will say, but I could not film on the first. I couldn't even make a full sentence without be like, anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope that you guys took something important from this. And obviously you've probably learned your own lessons. I want this to be a series. I think next year I might do 26 lessons, or obviously it depends on how my year goes and if it's like a lesson learning year or if it's more like a yay, everything's coming down type of way. I don't know. I can't predict the year. But anyway, I love you guys so much. Have a great night, great evening, great morning, whatever. Bye.